Hey everybody, and welcome to the Thursday. I'm sorry. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday.
Thursday. I don't even know what day.
Clearly I'm on the. I need a calendar. Anyway, um, I'm Jim Williams. He's Sean Miller, and I wish I could have started this over. Anyway, uh, Sean's a good morning. Uh, yesterday, France proved that they're good. they really put on a show yesterday, and that's not to slight Morocco. They played as hard as they could, but man, that was a show.
Yeah, it was interesting for me because France scored in the fourth minute, and it was the perfect start. But first of all, it's interesting because there's been these issues with viruses going through the
Right.
heating and cooling systems in Qatar. Brazil, I know, got hit by it, and they lost two. France lost two starters, one of whom, MANU, was replaced by Konate, who maybe was the man of the match, so that wasn't a big loss. But I thought Rabiot was a huge loss in the center of the park because Fofana came in wasn't as good, and Rabiot's size, and I think he would have been able to deal with them a little more. I think they probably could have. France had two chances. Giroud hit the post. They had two chances in the first half. If they scored those, they would have won 5-0 or 4-0 easy. They would have walked in the park the second half, but they didn't, and they made it hard for themselves a little bit in the second half before the sub came in and scored. That was interesting. Moani was on for 15 seconds before he scored. I mean, literally, he walked on pitch and ghosted to the back post and scored. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen some people score their first touch or after a minute, but I mean, he was literally on the pitch for 15 seconds.
Well, I mean, he had to walk from the bench, so it took a while.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy, and that goal, it didn't come to the 79th minute, and that killed the game. Right. France did have to work pretty hard. They got an extra day. They played. Argentina is going to be a little fresher here. Obviously, they got some subs out, but once you get to the final, I think they'll have Rabiot back. Now they have a choice there in center back, so they'll be healthy for that game, and that'll be a fantastic final. The two teams played in 2018, and it was 4-3 in the round of 16. So
that's what you call a wide open game, there, my friend.
Yeah, France was losing the game 2-1 in the second half, and it was a crazy. Benjamin Pavard hit the goal of the tournament where he pinged it with his left foot, and it just was like a missile into the corner. I mean, it was one of the big goals of the tournament. Tied at 2-2, and then Mbappe scored twice, and Sergio Aguero scored in like the 90+3 to make it a little bit closer.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think yesterday had that, and I forget the Moroccan player who did it, but had the Moroccan player hit that bicycle kick, which he literally, that would have gone in had the keeper not made a spectacular move. That would go down as the goal of the match. I mean, the goal of the tournament, probably.
Yeah. Yep. It was pretty crazy. Once again, if that goes in, it changes the game, I think.
Well, what was weird about it too was that he got his full foot on that damn ball. When he flipped, he got his full foot on it. It was well struck.
Yeah, yep. I think it hit his foot. I think it hit his shin first and then off his foot.
Yeah.
It
like a ricochet.
Looked like Lloris actually got a save on it, which is pretty big because you can't give up a goal right after you scored. I mean, that changes the game. So, look, they're a very good team. I mean, that's the first time they kept a clean sheet in a while. I think the line is dead even. I looked at it a couple times. It's Argentina plus 185, France plus 185, draw plus 200. I think everyone thinks Argentina is going to win this game. So I'm going to have to try to figure out. I have a future on France. So if France wins the cup, I win a lot. So I'm going to have to figure out how to make it so that I win some money here no matter what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't. I thought Argentina was fantastic, but I thought France was too. I don't see that. I can see where it's even, but if I were handicapping it, I think I might give France a little edge.
I think they're the better team. I mean, I'm just a little nervous about the whole Messi,
Right,
title before
the show.
Yeah. Oh, let's get him a title before the blah 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 and all that stuff. So yeah, that kind of scares me a little bit. But look, I mean, it's a final, so I mean, it could be anything. There could be a red card. It could be anything. You hope not. I haven't heard who's going to be the.
I mean, the ball can fly anywhere, so you never know what's happening. It's kind of like watching a hockey game, right? The puck bounces off of a guy's, leg, and suddenly, it's in. He didn't shoot it; it just went in from off on a ricochet. So we'll see how it plays out, but we'll break it down a lot more tomorrow. We got some soccer headlines, which are interesting. Let's start off with this one. Ronaldo back to Real Madrid. What do you think?
That ain't happening. They don't want him. At this point now, they don't.
I don't think this term has helped him at all.
Well, not just the tournament, but the way he acted with United. But it's the thing is for a team like Real Madrid who's building with young players here. I know Benzema's. They're talking about Benzema maybe leaving to go to Real Madrid or PSG. Mm-hmm. He's getting old. I mean, they have a changing of the guard here. They're bringing in a young. If he comes in now, Vinicius Jr.'s not playing in his spot. Right. Vinicius Jr. is one of the top young players in the world. So they don't need him. I don't think any big club will take him at this point.
Yeah. They'll have an opportunity. That's for sure.
That's right. He'll be available.
Right. Here's one for you. Is MANU really for sale? And I say that because the Glazers held a conference today, or earlier today, and interestingly enough, they said, it's not necessarily a sale.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's going on here. I haven't seen what they said.
Now, basically, this is my theory of the case. They've been offered money that this leads me to believe they've been offered, deals that they feel is less than.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So this is just plain old straight up a negotiating tool. All right. You have something I want and you say, Jim, I know what you offered and you've been, it was a wonderful offer, but maybe I'm just going to keep it. I was sleeping on it last night and maybe I'm just going to keep it. So that's my theory of the case on what's going on with the Glazers and MANU. They'll sell it, but it's got to be a number. And right now, nobody's hitting that number.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I opened up Twitter today and everybody's panicking. And I'm like, look, guys, you got to, they don't understand. First of all, they don't understand business. But you got to understand what's going on. Yeah, look, I mean, if somebody offers you $3 billion, look, no, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not for sale.
It's whoever, I'm going to go to this point. Whoever gets this team, there's going to be at least a 7 in front of it.
Exactly.
Anything north of 7 will probably get you this team. Anything south of 7, they don't have to sell it.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So, I mean, it's not like the Glazers are in financial trouble. So
I think they know this is the time to do it because maximize. They're not getting, Liverpool's. They're not getting another chance here to do it because someone's going to buy. If they didn't sell, someone would buy Liverpool. Someone already bought Newcastle.
Right.
All these clubs, and then there's just a limited market for the teams that are going to be sold. So just get it out there now and see what you can get for it.
Well, I just think they're playing negotiation 101, which is, make people think you aren't desperate to get the money.
Yeah, exactly. You got to understand the game and stuff like that, which some of these people don't, you don't really understand.
I mean, it was like when the Bolin family decided to sell the Broncos. They basically had a number in mind and decided that's the way they were going to play it. And eventually they got what the number, they got the number they wanted.
Yep.
So it's, MANU is still going to be there and Glazer's still going to sell it. But when, we don't know. And for the price, as I said, I think it's going to go north of the number 7.
I hope, Bezos is involved, once again, I don't really know.
You got the richest guy in England involved. You got, our bid of $27.50 is out there. So,
yes.
we might be able to bump it up to 30 or 40, but we'll do our best. So there's things to be done. But if you're a MANU fan and I'm sitting here with one, I wouldn't be concerned that they're going to sell the team. I just, sit back, relax, and let this whole, drama play out.
Yes, exactly.
So there you go. That's your business of sports lesson for today. A non-soccer note, but it's big news, is that UCLA was cleared yesterday to join the Big Ten with USC.
Wow.
Now, for those of you who haven't been paying attention to the story, UCLA is part of the University of California system. They didn't ask for permission from the California State education system to move to another conference, which they technically have to do. So the regents had to get together and decide whether or not UCLA was going to be able to do it. USC, being a private school, can do whatever the hell they want, and they did. So what happened here is that a certain amount of money, and that has not yet been determined, from the TV money and rights money that they're getting from the Big Ten, will have to go to the University of California and a couple of other, smaller institutions in the UC system. So basically, they extorted money from UCLA to give them the opportunity to go to the Big Ten.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
So there's your business of sports number 2 item. It's, I got to say, conference realignment in college sports drives me absolutely nuts.
Yep.
I mean, I saw the ACC destroy, the Big East. You've got the SEC basically taking Oklahoma and Texas away from the Big 12. Now you've got the SC and UCLA headed, to the Big Ten. I know it's just strange. I mean, it's strange, and you don't have that conference situation. We'll get more into the bowl situation, because now you got situations where bowl teams that are playing in bowls are playing without their stars, because the stars are saying, nah, I'm going to go into the draft. I don't want to take a chance of getting hurt. So what looks like marquee matchups in these bowls turns out to be, one-sided affairs, because one team is playing without 3 or 4 of their stars.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, that's got to, I don't know what you could do. Well, yeah, I mean, you got guys opting out of playoff games.
Right.
I mean, the USC, the Ohio State players. I mean, look, like you work you're part of a team. I understand you got to protect your investment and stuff, but and you're part of a team. You're letting your team down. I don't understand why. What's the point? I mean, at this point now, it's not even a real. Everybody knows.
What started this process? A couple things. One, I don't know if you remember the Miami Ohio State national championship game. I think it was played in Tempe, Arizona. Anyway, Willis McGahee, who at the time was the #1 running back in coming out of college, McGahee got his knee wrecked on a play that probably would have gotten the Ohio State player ejected now because of a targeting deal. So McGahee's out. He's no longer the #1 running back. It cost him millions of dollars. From that point forward, some of these guys have opted, out of playing in the bowl game. So what's the solution? To me, the solution is, and I don't know that, I mean, it's going to blow the head off of, of some traditionalists, is that the bowls pay the players.
Yeah.
So you're paying an appearance fee.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Because you can do that now with NIL money.
Yeah, that's right.
So take a percentage of what the team was going to get and give it to the players. So then there's an incentive to play.
Yep. Yeah. Or take out, I mean, the NFL's got to do something here. Obviously, I know teams aren't going to, if you tear your knee up or something like that or whatever, you get really badly hurt. I mean, it's going to be, maybe your draft stock goes down or something like that. But I don't know. It's not really fair. You got these, Ohio State. If these people would have known that these players were opting out, would they have taken Ohio State over another team?
Well, I remember that Florida a couple years ago when Kyle Trask was quarterback and they had, superstar players all over the offensive side of the ball. They played Alabama. They lost, I think it was like 7 or 10 points. They lost to Alabama in a shootout in the championship game, the SEC championship game. So then they go to the Sugar Bowl, and 7 offensive starters didn't play. They were going to the NFL. So they get waxed in the bowl game because, Kyle Trask was the only guy who showed up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does cause for, situation. By the way, this is something that, talking about college sports, that drives me nuts. People are saying, well, why do they get NIL money when, in fact, they get a free education? Well, first of all, it's not free. They're playing, sports to get it. Second of all, and Sean, as a coach, this, in pretty much every college, you have a situation where nobody gets a 4-year scholarship. Basically, if someone's better than you, or you get hurt or whatever, they can take that scholarship away and give it to somebody else. So there's not a guaranteed 4-year scholarship.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing now kids, for all intents and purposes, you've got free agency in college sports because they can enter the portal and play wherever they want to.
Yep.
So we're getting a lot of those kind of things setting around. So I'm all for the athletes. Whatever they can do to make it work, that's fine. But it's a very fluid situation. We'll have to keep track of it. But there you go. Any leagues playing soccer today?
Let me take a look. Scottish Premiership. Rangers play Hibernian at 3 o'clock. You got the Chinese Super League already played. They played 10 games. Romania, CFR Cluj. That's the big joke. They play every time you look up. They're playing.
The barnstorming team.
Yeah, it's anytime you think there's nothing going on and you need a game, CFR Cluj will be there to save you. The Eredivisie, which is the second division in Netherlands, is playing. And then tomorrow the championship returns. Well, the championship's been playing. The Eredivisie plays, and then on the weekend you got the championship full schedule. All in England, everything's been playing. The Scottish Premiership is back. The Spanish second division. So basically, and then going into next week. I mean, Tuesday you got 4 Carabao Cup round of 16 games in England, and you have a bunch of Turkish Cup games. But Copa del Rey, you have 8 matches. So Wednesday's the same thing. 3 EFL Cup, Carabao Cup, and 12 Copa del Rey matches. So the cool thing about the Copa del Rey too is that in the early rounds they if no matter what the draw is, they let the big teams go to the small teams. So these second, third, and fourth division teams could get Premier or La Liga teams. So for example, one of my players, Tom Johnson, who played for me at Trenton Catholic, he was on CD Rincon, and they made it. He actually scored the goal to get him through to the first round and get him a ton of money. They had to play La Liga team Alaves in the first round. They were hoping they got Real Madrid or somebody like that, or Atletico Madrid, but they ended up getting a La Liga side, so that was pretty cool. But I think I like the way they do that because Manchester United's playing Burnley on Wednesday. It's at home. I don't know. Burnley's a local rival, so it's not that bad. But there's going to be a lot of stuff next week.
Mm-hmm. The hangover from the World Cup. Do you see a lot of these players that are playing in the Cup right now making bolts for bigger and better paychecks with some of the elite teams in Europe? Because we're in a very bizarre situation. This World Cup came in the middle of the season.
I think that's why the level of play was so much better, to be honest, too, because, it's not a month after the season ends. First, I think there's going to be, like you said, like that Armbot from Morocco is going to be getting like all kinds of offers. I think he plays for Fiorentina, the keeper for Croatia and stuff like that. I know, Manchester United had said the players that were out in the quarterfinal rounds will be back for training on Monday, because the Premier League goes back on the 26th. The problem is, both their center backs are playing in the final, so that's a little bit of an issue. So because
that's good news and bad news, yes.
Yeah, it's and Varane didn't play for a month before the World Cup because he was banged up. Look, I mean, one of them is going to be if Varane wins, he'll be a 2-time World Cup and a 4-time Champions League center back. Might go down as one of the best of all time. Obviously Lisandro Martinez for Argentina. But some of these people are going to get moved. Some of these people are going to be out, and it's going to hurt maybe the smaller teams. I don't know how many players from Argentina or France or even Morocco and Croatia are playing for, Crystal Palace or some of these smaller teams, but maybe a team, West Ham or something like that. I mean, if they have to, you don't want to rush these guys back. You got to give them a little bit of a break. So it'll be interesting to see what happens afterwards because, it's nonstop. I mean, I wrote from I think it's starting on Boxing Day until January 19th, maybe.
Mhm.
There's a game every day, but one. There's games at every Premier League games, uh, Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games. I mean, they're just jamming these games in everywhere now because you have to make up a month of time here. So
We got a question from someone who is in the UK and wants to know if I'm sorry, they're going to be in the UK in next week and wants to know where should they go to watch a soccer game.
Where are they going to be?
They're going to be in London.
London. Okay. So let me take a look.
Is Chelsea in town?
I don't know if Chelsea's playing in the
Tottenham, I guess.
League Cup. They're both out of the League Cup. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, if it's the Premier League comes back on the 26th after Christmas, but MK Dons plays Leicester City on Tuesday. That's a little bit outside the city, but like not too far outside the city. And League Cup matches, you'll be able to get tickets all the time. Charlton Athletic, that's a good place to go. The stadium is a Premier League stadium, so that's Wednesday. Charlton Athletic plays Brighton, so that's in London. I went to a game there I actually went to Charlton Athletic's first round match against the Queens Park Rangers. They scored really late to tie it and then won in penalties. But Charlton Athletic is a Premier League ground for a League One team, and you could probably walk up and buy tickets for £8, and it's right off the train. It's right off the subway. You get off the subway, or whatever it's called there. It's not the underground. It's actually it's one of the other systems. But you get off it, and you walk up the stairs, and the ground is like right there. So Charlton Athletic on Wednesday would be it's a 7:45 match. You get to see it under the lights. It'll be pretty cool. You'll be able to sit basically. When we went to the QPR match, I sat basically I probably could have gotten the game. I was sitting basically on the bench, and it was a TV game. We were on TV the whole time because I kept showing the bench and stuff. But you can, Charlton Athletic would be a good game to go see. And then in the championship, let's see if there's any championship games on Tuesday. There's some of the. Well,
they're there for 2 weeks, so.
Oh, okay. So after the, when you talk about the Premier League when it comes back on Boxing Day, which is always an interesting game. Brentford is playing Tottenham, really small stadium, tough to get tickets. Crystal Palace is playing Fulham on Boxing Day. You might be able to get tickets for that. Arsenal's playing West Ham on Boxing Day on Monday the 27th. Chelsea's playing Bournemouth on Tuesday the 27th. I mean, the problem, the interesting thing about being in London is there's usually a game. Friday the 30th, West Ham is playing Brentford. I've been to West Ham Stadium a lot. There's a hotel right next to the stadium. There's a really cool, because it's the Olympic Stadium.
Right.
So they built that whole Olympic Center. So when you're walking up to the stadium, you have to walk up like these steps where the train station is, and you have to just walk through this like indoor mall first that has this unbelievable food court, and then you walk through this outdoor mall when you're walking to the stadium, and there's all these food places and bars and pubs, and everybody's hanging out before the game. I would say, if you're there on the 30th, the West Ham match might be pretty interesting, but there's a lot of, Fulham plays Southampton on the Saturday. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably go to games basically every day for a week and a half. It's pretty easy to get. It's pretty, there's not really scalping there. They don't sell tickets over face value. Anytime I've got a ticket there, it's been like, I go on Twitter and say, hey, I need a ticket. And someone's like, here, send me £25 to thing, because it's all electronic now, right? So, they send it right to your phone. So it's pretty cool.
Sounds like it. And so is Brighton the Brighton team from the south?
Brighton, yeah, they're from the resort. I mean, as much of a resort as you can get in England, because it's not real warm. But yes, they're along the South Shore there, rivals with Southampton and stuff. But yeah. I mean, like Blackpool's a resort as well, but like
Right.
it's like it's on the.
It's not an overwhelming one.
It's like putting a resort, a beach resort in Nova Scotia or something like that.
Right.
I don't know if I'd rather go there or the Bahamas.
I think the Bahamas would make it for me.
Yes.
Something's beeping. And anyway, then it stopped. So anyway, yeah. So there's some good advice on where to go, and don't go to Scotland yet. Wait till the summertime. It's too damn cold from that standpoint. Do you have a favorite? Taking Old Trafford out of it, do you have a stadium that you enjoy going to?
In England, yeah, I like the West Ham Stadium is weird because it's the Olympic Stadium, so it's like some of the seats are further back, but I sat behind the goal in the stands for a Europa League game last year against Zagreb, I think, right next to the Zagreb fans, and it's great. I loved it. That one. I like Southampton. Southampton is just a one bowl basically all the way around, so you're basically really great seats. I've been to Blackburn, Southampton, Everton, Liverpool. Where else? Aston Villa. Aston Villa was pretty cool for an older stadium. Manchester City, obviously. Yeah, the West Ham Stadium, I like that. Everton was old, but it was kind of cool. Like, we were on TV the whole time, and it was pretty interesting stadium. Some of the older stadiums are pretty cool. It's like going to Fenway or Newcastle.
Any tips for first timers who go? There's Foxy Hill and Foxy.
Yeah, I think if you're going to first, just the people are like I just try to go up to the ground early, like and just go and hang out with the I just sometimes
it's fun to see how different teams. You go to Liverpool and the fans are singing on the way up.
And then they quiet for 90 minutes.
Right. They don't say damn thing till after it's over.
Look, you go, like, I sometimes I'll just pretend to be like, hey, I'm an American guy. I don't know, even though I know. And you just like, people will, you say, hey, man, where are you from? America. Oh, yeah. What are you doing here? I just wanted to come see a West Ham game. Oh, wow. They talk to you and stuff. I mean, it's really cool. The people are pretty nice. I mean, no matter where you go. So, it's pretty good. I think the people are really nice to people that are going over there. So, it's just I would go go up a little early and go see the atmosphere. Go see Foxy's talking about Newcastle. Obviously, it is very good. He's talking about. Oh, here we go with Foxy with his tourist stuff. Foxy loves bashing my Manchester United. For guaranteed seats, Manchester City. Yeah, it's easy to get Manchester City seats. Libraries, Arsenal, and Liverpool, Anfield. So the thing is now, I like to try to get up there early and try to get the whole thing, because it's a whole thing. I mean, it's not like when you go to a NFL game here, and you're tailgating in the parking lot and stuff like that. They do the same thing. They drink towards the ground. They're in pubs and stuff, and everybody they sing in and all that. It's all part of the thing. You want to see the pageantry and stuff. I mean, that's the cool part of it for me.
Well, the other thing is the opportunity to just see how people are different from fans in the United States. And I think that's a lot of fun.
Yep. It's just you just see different things, and and you don't obviously look if you're a Fulham fan and you're going to see Fulham play Crystal Palace as American, you don't just say like. I don't know. I mean, go to the Fulham pub if you want, but I would just say, look, if you're trying to get tickets, say, hey, listen, I'm an American in town. I just like to go to the game. Like, obviously, don't cheer for Fulham in the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah,
don't have enough.
Not a good plan.
We sat with the Manchester City coaches in a United City Manchester Derby match. We sat with the actual youth team coaches, and like I had to sit on my hands until after the match, and because the trams are so bad, like going from the city ground back to town. I mean, we had to Foxy, greatest atmosphere in the UK, nothing like a religious rivalry, a political rivalry and stuff like that. The Rangers Celtic is definitely, and they play about 10 times a year, so in every cup and everything, so it's pretty cool. But yeah,
my niece went to that game once when she was studying in Scotland, and she asked me what to do. I said, just go there and enjoy the game.
Yep. That's all you do. Just enjoy the game and sit there and
don't buy anybody's merch. Just enjoy the game.
Don't buy. I know Foxy is a big half and half scarf guy. He's got those Newcastle and Manchester United scarves down with them. So don't buy the half and half scarves. Don't be a tourist.
Well,
I'm a scarf guy.
You buy the half and half for the people so that people don't know which team you're rooting for.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's interesting. I know some of the sellers of the scarves now because I've been going for so long, and I get off the tram and at the Old Trafford stop, and I'll see I'll see my guy. And he's like, "Oh man, I owe you a pint from last time." Yeah. He's selling the half and half scarves and stuff. So I never get them. I do buy the scarves after the match. I like the players' scarves. I don't buy programs or any of this other stuff. I have a lot of scarves, but I don't buy programs or anything. But I do have a lot of scarves, so it's pretty cool.
Well, if you're going this time of year, you're going to need it.
It's cold and wet. Like, you don't understand how cold it is when it's like, over there it's 2 Celsius. It's like Manchester. It doesn't snow because it's on this side of the mountain. So Manchester never snows. It always just rains. But it's like I've never been in a place that's like 37 degrees Fahrenheit and rains more in like February all the way till like April. It's crazy. Like
the rainy season.
Cold and wet sucks. Like if it's like snow, you could deal with it. Like snow is like dry, you know what I'm saying? Like cold, it's cold and wet and windy, and just like, man, this is so bad. But it is what it is. I mean, it's part of the town. Like I can't.
Part of the charm.
I got a bunch of Gore-Tex sneakers and shoes now, and you just don't wear regular shoes there. You get soaked. It is
You get your duck shoes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Float. Well, I tell you what, we've got to get out of here by 9:30. So it's time for some final thoughts. Foxy, you got any final thoughts, guys? Class, any final thoughts on what's going on?
Oh, there's a game tonight. I don't even know who's playing, but
Oops. Oh, there's a football game. Yeah.
49ers and Seahawks, actually.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it'd be a decent game, I think.
Are they playing in Seattle or are they playing in?
It's in Seattle.
Okay. I don't know. I think the 49ers win.
Foxy said that they messed up starting injured defenders. Well, yeah, Aguerd was pulled out right before the game started, and then Roman Saiz obviously wasn't healthy. Made a final.
Anybody could score goals, Foxy. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, Foxy, I have two things to that though. If they score the two chances, you know, they hit the post and whatever in the first half when France was pretty dominant, they win the game easily. And second, you know, I think Rabiot was a huge miss. I think he's turned into a key player for them. He's a massive, massive player in the middle of the pitch. He'll be back for the final. They should be healthy if they keep everybody healthy. If they don't keep turning on the flu stuff for, you know, in all these hotels. So we'll see. But yeah, I think the final will be interesting.
Well, one team wearing blue will win.
Yes.
We know that much. If you're betting on colors, blue is going to win. So
That's correct.
From that standpoint. All right. Well, Foxy has no more. Do you have any more travel tips, or we can use?
Yeah, you know, don't wear colors to the game. Just wear you know, I wear black. You know, just wear some Adidas. You want to fit in, wear some Adidas. Wear some Levi's 501s and wear a black jacket. You'll look like everybody.
You'll be fine at that point. Yeah. You'll look like the Beatles circa 1963.
Yeah, so. Don't wear colors.
There you go. All right, gang. For myself, Jim Williams, and for Sean Miller, join us tomorrow. We will break down the Cup final, which should be fun. Yes. And take a look at some of the stuff going on in the NFL for the weekend, as there's only 4 more games left in the regular season, and a lot of things totally up in the air. So all kinds of fun tomorrow. For Mr. Miller, I'm Jim Williams saying so long, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.